So if you saw yesterday's video, you know that we got all the way up to Master Tier. I put in the hours, got the grind up from Diamond 4 all the way up to Master, and I'm pretty excited about that. However, what I am not excited about is the fact that I am currently 216 on the Master ladder. If you don't know, Master Tier in this game kind of works the way it does in Hearthstone, where it's the highest tier, but then you just get numbered based on, rank 1 is the best player in theory. They've climbed the furthest, and then, the further down you go, the supposedly worse you are. And right now we are at a pretty big number, so I'm not liking that. And, that's just kind of come from the fact that because I can't demote out of Master Tier, I've been trying to experiment with a number of different decks to see if I can, make some of them work against good players, which I've not really been able to make those work. However, I have an idea for a fun deck that I want to see if we can maybe make it work today. And that is a Katarina Vladimir deck that is, it's Ionia and Noxus. So the theory in how this deck works is it's kind of based around Katarina. This is loosely based off of a deck that Mega Mogwai made, where I think he called it Catering Ram, where Katarina is an interesting champion in that she's only a 3-mana 3/2, where every time she strikes, she will recall, and the first time you do that, you level up. This makes it very difficult to deal with her because she's essentially someone that, she has to be cleared from the board using some sort of, spell, because since she has quick attack, even if she's going up against someone or someone's trying to block her that is a, someone that has more than 3 health, their attack won't go off. She will recall before their attack goes off. And then you'll be able to play her again. And she's currently a 4-mana 4/3 when she's leveled up. And every time you play her, she will rally your team, which means that you will gain an attack token and you'll be able to attack. So in theory, you will be able to attack twice if you already had an attack token, meaning it was your attack turn. You can attack twice if you have Katarina leveled up, or you'll be able to attack on a turn where you shouldn't be able to attack. And if you have enough mana, you can do this multiple times in the later stages of the game. So this is kind of interesting in that you can combo this with some of the other aggro cards in the Noxus deck, such as Legion Saboteur, who will deal 1 damage to the Nexus every time she attacks. You can also combo this with, just aggro stuff in general, throwing out various minions on the board that are kind of tough to deal with. The Battering Ram, for instance, every time it attacks, he's granted +4 power, and this is forever. This will stack as he has 12 health. It's kind of tough to deal with this once you get it on the board. We only have one of them in this deck, but it also synergizes with stun cards, which there's a fair number of them in the Noxus deck, as well as I think the Ionia deck. I don't know if I'm running any Ionia stuns, but anyway, Guile. This is a card that doesn't look that good at first glance. It might look good to an average player, a 1-mana card that will stun an enemy and prevent them from doing anything in a turn, but because it's a slow spell, that means it can only be cast if nobody is attacking or defending or doing anything yet. And if you cast it, that means your opponent has a lot of opportunity to play around it. Specifically, if you're attacking, you can't attack and then stun someone that tries to block, or stun someone that's getting a favorable trade in some sort of circumstance. You have to show your hand essentially first. You have to do the stun, and your opponent will be able to see and kind of play around it with an extra turn's time. However, if you, again, combo this with Katarina, suddenly this is really scary. If you're attacking twice and your opponent has a stunned minion that they can't use to block on either of the attack turns, that suddenly makes this a much better card, and stuns in general are much better, which is why we are also running 3 Arachnoid Sentries. But we're comboing this with Vladimir. This is the part of the deck that I kind of came up with on my own. Vladimir and the Vladimir Crimson cards, Crimson Disciple, Transfusion, Vladimir himself, I think these could work kind of well with this sort of strategy, because Vladimir, his big thing that he gets, the ability to attack and deal direct Nexus damage for every other attacking ally, that is really, really good, and kind of synergizes with Katarina as well. On top of that, just the, Transfusion and Crimson Disciple, I really like these cards in aggro decks where, your opponent might think that they're getting some sort of favorable trade to remove a Crimson Disciple, where you then save the Disciple, you get multiple actives of it off, dealing more direct damage to the Nexus, and just in general, I think this can work pretty well. This is still a very raw deck. I have not played many games with it, and I've lost pretty much all the games I've played in normals, just experimenting with mulligans and whatnot. So I don't know if we're actually going to be able to get wins with it, but we're going to try. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 1. All right. This is interesting. We're playing against a Vladimir Hecarim deck. I'm not too sure how that works. I kind of want to keep both of these just so I can get them both out early. I want to keep the Will of Ionia for Hecarim, though, and I need to get a better curve. Getting this drop on turn 1 is really nice, but yeah, I want to get something like a House Spider turn 2. There we go, Arachnoid Sentry turn 3. That's something I was a little bit more interested in getting. So, happy with that mulligan. We do not have the attack token turn 1, unfortunately, but that is okay. We will House Spider here and then get a lot of damage off on this guy. Now we just need to draw one of our win conditions. Essentially, this deck runs 2 win conditions, Katarina and Vladimir. Either one can work, or them together, again, can be really deadly and crazy. Here we get him down to 14 health on turn 2, which is really solid and kind of shows the strength of an aggro deck like this. I think aggro decks kind of counter mid-range decks in general. I could be wrong about that. I'm not too sure. We'll go ahead and throw out the Shadow Assassin to get a little bit of card draw here. And there it is, Katarina. Thank you very much. I am not going to trade anything into either of his guys because I'm going to rush you down faster than you're going to rush me, dude. You have to set up some blocks. That is not going to be enough. Okay, so here, this is a little bit unfortunate, but I'm going to put the Katarina out and attack right away. All right. That's actually a cool combo. I never thought about doing that. You know, I'm the big Vladimir guy that just keeps on trying to make every Vladimir deck work. Making the Escaped Abomination by using a Crimson Awakener. That's an interesting strategy. I like that a lot. Okay, so I think I'm attacking with everything. Am I? Yeah, I think I am. He'll block everything like this, and it will actually synergize pretty well with him because he will get the Crimson Curator to proc again, but I'm not actually that worried about it. He can flood up his board as much as he wants. That's kind of the thing here, is that I don't really care that much about him flooding his board. I care about just getting attack tokens. And then comboing like Katarina with Shadow Assassin. Oh, shoot. Should I have played that before I attacked? Probably. Or did I have a full board? I forget. Oops. Might have made a mistake there. We have plenty here that we can use, though. Oh. That's an interesting card. We would have to commit to that, though. How much damage does he have right now? He has 11, 15. He is kind of one off lethal. I'm a little bit scared about that. What should we do? I actually don't know what to do here. Let's stun him. I'm thinking I should probably not put Katarina down and start attacking. If he has any kind of buff, we would be screwed. I will just make this block. And, okay, he can save one of his guys. Fair enough. Again, he's just focused on the board clear, though. And we have a few opportunities to continue getting our board big and scary. But I don't like how little mana I have. I would have liked to have full spell mana at this point because, yeah, look at this. Katarina is the only non-spell that we have. So here, this is important for me to attack like this. Got to attack like this because we can play Katarina and then attack again. Okay, he gets his Vladimir out. This is getting really terrifying, actually. Are we screwed? We might lose. Hang on, should we... We could recall his Vlad. Next turn, we would have 7 mana. It would be his turn first. He would play Vlad. We would play Cat or something. we would have... Okay, so we would have 2 extra mana. We would play Cat. We would have 7 plus 2. That's 9. We could play Spirit's Refuge. I think that's the play. Is it? Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm making a mistake here. Let's play Katarina again. We'll have the 2 extra mana either way. So here, we can attack like this, and this is interesting, because even if he blocks with Vlad, it actually doesn't kill the Katarina. She will strike, and then recall before his damage goes off. So now what I'm kind of worried about is if he attacks immediately. If he tries to play something, we might be fine, depending on what it is he plays. If he plays something that costs more than 2 mana, then we could get Vlad off the board and prevent him from being here for this attacking turn, and then we would still have the mana for the Katarina. If he attacks immediately, we're getting kind of low, and we might have to trade various different things in. Oh, but he made a mistake! Yes, 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 okay, okay. So here we will use the Will of Ionia, because we have to get Vlad off the board. But then, I don't know what to do. What? Okay. Was he just trying to get the board to be scarier? Because I can still trade like this. All right. That was actually a really good Frenzied Skittler. That suddenly makes it so even if I play Katarina again and attack, I'm only getting 1 damage off with that. If I could play Katarina and had the mana for Twin Disciplines, then I would be able to obviously screw him. What is that? That doesn't win the game. No. Okay. And then I think I play Katarina here. May as well, right? Again, more free damage off with the cat herself. And he doesn't have much mana left. I can't imagine he would have, like... He's running Shadow Isles. Oh, he's running Shadow Isles. He could have the thing that deals 3 damage if an ally's died. Oh, but it won't work, though. Because Katarina will attack, and if he sacrifices someone into her, she'll recall. Nobody actually died for him this round, did they? Thank goodness. Okay, so Katarina again can just get extra damage off. What is that? Okay, kind of annoying. Not a big deal. Okay, so here we win the game. Or we have to win the game. Okay, so we'll start off by doing this. Here, this is kind of what we needed earlier. He doesn't have anything, right? Yeah, we didn't really get lucky this game. We need stuff like Elixir of Wrath, like Twin Disciplines, to combo with the Katarina, because that's kind of, I was explaining this with Stun during the intro, but that's kind of the whole idea of playing this deck, is that you want to have various different units or buffs to units where when your opponent uses, or when you're attacking, that will just win the game, right? Because my attack will go off before he can do anything with the draw. Yeah, there we go. We get the win. Okay, I'm actually surprised that worked. Yeah, as I was saying, though, the way that buffs work is that, you know, a buff for only this round is supposed to mean you can only use the buff for a single attack, but then being able to use it for multiple attacks when comboed with Katarina, same deal with the stuns, that's kind of what you want, and we didn't really get any of our easy buffs to use until the very end of the game. But that still worked out well. We got the win up to 170 rank. Let's try again. All right, against a mid-range Hecarim Elise, This guy is ranked a lot lower than me. Maybe that means we'll be able to beat him. Although this is still a very unproven deck. I'm sure there is plenty of room to improve. Areas that I can make better. I want to keep this. Oh, I want to keep this. But I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't. I won't. Oh, good thing I didn't. Well, no, maybe I should have, because then I would have another minion. Yeah, I run a lot of spells in this deck. I think I run 22 spells, or 18 spells, 22 units. I think that's the division between the 40 cards. And maybe that's too many spells, because look at this. We have 5 cards in our hand, and every single one of them is a spell, and that is not exactly what I planned when I constructed this deck. On the bright side, we might end up passing a turn or two and filling our spell mana. Which, if I remember correctly, we were kind of behind on that last game, right? Okay, there we go. Thank goodness. An amazing 3-drop to drop on turn 3. Yeah. I also considered, you know, one of the reasons I run Ionia in this deck is because Shadow Assassin is just one of the best cards in the game. Getting elusive, a 2/2 out on turn 3, or as early as turn 3, and then drawing one, that is just a fantastic setup. But on top of that, it's like, you know, with this deck and the way it's run, where you get the bonuses or whatever of attacking multiple turns with the Katarina, that's something that's ultra annoying when you combo it with elusives, you know? When you have an elusive that is attacking multiple turns, it's already difficult enough to block an elusive or deal with one. But being able to not deal with it for multiple turns is kind of, you know, that's the ultimate fear.
Remember the fallen.
Ooh. He must be getting desperate to throw various things out on the board.
Stand strong.
Should I use Brothers Bond here? I guess I should. I want to be using that Brothers Bond on people that will live forever, because that's a buff that stays forever. So, for instance, the Shadow Assassin will essentially live forever, hopefully. Okay, that sucks. Yeah, I should have just used it on them, shouldn't I? Oh, my God. Don't trade. Go face. That's like rule number 1 of card games. Me no trade. Me go face. Okay, here we go. So this is getting kind of spooky, but it's not really a big deal. We just need to draw Katarina and we're good. How much damage is this? Takes me down to 8. I'm fine with that. Take me down to 8. I'm fine with passings, filling up my spell mana. Heaven knows I got plenty of spells to use. Oh, that's another interesting draw that doesn't actually help us. Could we win this turn, though? We might be able to win. I think I need to use... I'm going to do this because I don't want him to just pass, you know. I want him to have to do something, so then I can use the rest of my spells to set up lethal. Which I can do by doing this. And as long as he doesn't have removal, I don't think Hecarim Elise midrange has any kind of removal. I mean, he doesn't have Frostbite. Yeah, we get the win. Wow, that's 2 wins in a row with this deck. This deck is a very slapdash deck. I cannot emphasize that enough. I don't want you to take this and think you're going to use it to immediately grind to Masters, because I'm sure there's plenty of problems with it, and you should feel free to mess around with it and see if you can improve on some of the cards that are used here. I mean, there's, of course, a deck code in the description down below. That gets us just up to 141, but let's play again. Let's play again, see if we can maybe win a third time. All right, playing again against that Vladimir Hecarim. This isn't the same guy, is he? Vladimir Hecarim. I've seen this deck a number of times. I think in our most recent videos, multiple times here on the ladder, and I don't know why. It seems interesting. I'm the big Vladimir guy. I love Vladimir, and I should know what this deck is and how to play it. Anyway, though, we will go ahead and mulligan a couple of our cards. I'm still kind of, you know, my mulligans aren't perfect because, again, still kind of experimenting and messing around to see how I should exactly be playing this. I was kind of hoping to get a 1-drop with that mulligan, which we unfortunately do not, but at least we get a few minions to throw out here early on. And then we do get the Vladimir, so that's interesting. We get a Vladimir win condition. pretty early on that we can potentially drop on turn 5. So one of the problems, or one of the cool things and one of the problems of this deck is that it's nice having the Vladimir that really sets up for a unexpected win condition, you know? Like, if you're rushing your opponent down, for instance, if I'm rushing my opponent down and they have multiple different cards that... I'm not going to do this yet. I don't want that to die. I want to use Transfusion on it. Yeah, let's say you get the 1-drop, you get the 2-drop, you get the 3-drop that sets up to get your opponent at half health for their Nexus fairly early on in the game, turn 3, turn 4. If you get that setup, then Vladimir does turn into a really nice draw that you can put down on turn 5. Because even if you have a few cards out there, which you will have some cards, but even if you have some cards out there like a 1/1 Spiderling that might end up just dying to the Vladimir active, the fact that you're getting the 1/1 Spider to deal direct damage to your opponent's Nexus compared to, you know, not dealing direct damage to your opponent's Nexus compared to just being traded into a 3/3 or a 4/4 or something. That's something that's really, really annoying to deal with. Really, really tough to deal with in a lot of circumstances. So, I think Vladimir does actually work. This isn't just me trying to shoehorn Vladimir into everything. That's the point I'm getting at. I'm passing there. I'm gonna let him take my Nexus down as low as he wants, because I want to I want to one-shot him here, which I don't think is possible, but I'm gonna try.
I'd never keep my guests waiting.
This time I learned my lesson. So, how do we want to do this? I think I just attack and then see what he does. Because if he doesn't do anything, if he doesn't block at all. Okay, so here I can do a few things. But most notably, I can kill the Vladimir. And I don't think he has anything. He has 1 mana. But then, do I want to use Transfusion on her to kill him as well? I think I do. Because that leaves him with a very scarce board. And that will also keep this guy alive, which might be important to trade into Escaped Abomination or the Chronicler of Ruin next turn. Yes, perfect. We also get the additional 2 damage. We do get 1 proc off on our Crimson What's-A-Face. And all right, here we go. He's down to 8 health. We're down to 8 health. We both have 3 minions and 4 cards. Actually, he has 5. This is looking really, really, really good. Here, we just drop the Vladimir because we don't even care if he dies. We have a second one. Drop the Vladimir first, no matter what. He's a better trade into one of these things where if he tries to buff them to kill the Vladimir, again, we can just play another Vladimir. Or we could play Spirit's Refuge. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Oh, do we guile him? I think we guile him. This is perfect. This is actually perfect. He has 1 mana again. He shouldn't be able to do anything. Now, I'm trying to think, does he have anything that he could do? And I think the answer is no. I think we just pass here, and we attack next turn, and we win. Right? He's Shadow Isles, so he's like, I need something to die so I can then deal 3 damage to an opponent. I don't know the Noxus cards well enough. Oh my goodness, we got it! We got the win! We got 3 wins in a row with a deck we just made up on the fly here in Masters. That feels really, really good. Yeah, check this out. The Clad deck. GBay 99's Clad deck gets us up to rank 117, Spartan117. Good game. Well played. Anyway, though, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I will see you all in tomorrow's video with another fun deck. And yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the Legends of Runeterra content. I've certainly been enjoying making it. Hell, I mean, I grinded all the way up to Master Tier. I'm having a lot of fun with this game, clearly. I'll see you in our next video, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in Ranked, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.